give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food.
Explain to anyone who didn't go through it, what were the differences between East Coast breakdancing and West Coast breakdancing?
Major. First of all, East Coast created breakdancing. Breakdancing is the pose, the floor stuff, the footwork, and the spinning on the heads and all those abstract gymnastic moves. When breakdancing kind of got into the clubs, people were going to clubs, people from New York came to clubs in LA and introduced it, and all around the world, people were like, whoa, they're dancing on the floor. It was a whole nother art form. But California had locking, you know, with the lockers, you know, Soul Train, you know, we had other dances, you know, the Cupid show. Cali always had our swagger. Around that time, we had popping. All in LA, the schools like Hoover, Long Beach, Jordan, Poly, Compton, everywhere, every school had like their pop lockers. California knows how to party. West Coast Pop Lock was an actual song written by Ronnie Hudson that actually told what was going on. If you listen to Ronnie Hudson's West Coast Pop Lock, it kind of gives you a theoretically correct hip hop timeline of what was going on in California. Because people were known as pop lock. They pop lock, woo! Pop locking on Broadway every day. People don't hit, you know, the thing is, pop locking and boogalooing, that was the thing that we did. Some people kind of did the disco and they did the thing, but we had that on lock. And so by the time breakdancing came, we had like a fusion. I would say 1980. If you look at the documentary Breakin and Entering by Topper Peru, which featured an early Ice-T. Our West Coast hip hop documentary, Breakin and Entering, pretty much was ground zero of ushering in our version of hip hop, our interpretation, West Coast interpretation. And New York had Wild Style. Wild Style was the New York East Coast hip hop cultural introduction to their interpretation. So Breakin and Entering and Wild Style in the 80s kind of created offspring. Great DJs, great MCs, Ice-T. Ice-T was a rapper from the West Coast, but he was at the Radiotron in 7th Colorado, you know, right there. Yo, check it out. This is Tracy Moore. I'm Ice-T. I do what I do. Yo, yeah, peep this, people. So the thing is, Ice-T, you know, Kid Frost, you know, this is for the Razatón. Kid Frost from East LA. Mellow Man Ace, you know, is like a brother from another mother in the arts, because after all is said and done, to be able to talk to these pioneers in the arts and us have camaraderie, we speak on the level of, wow, man, look at this thing from the West Coast that we built, and yet we put our egos aside and we work together and support each other. The thing is, in the last few years, of course, age comes with it. I realized it's not really about breaking, or it's not about Turbo and Ozone. What Turbo and Ozone opened the doors for was worldwide, for people to look at East LA. They were filmed in East LA and Whittier, and our culture of hip hop here, okay, as opposed to people, you know, saying that breaking was a knockoff from Beat Street. Beat Street, for the record, was New York's way of living, and that's how they live, and more power to them. But in California, yeah, we have the ocean, the playa, vamos a la playa. You know, we had the chile verde and the carne asada and the low riders, you know, the guacamole, salsita, you know, we had that swagger, that Latino swagger, and it shows in the movie.
How did you get picked for the role in Breakin?
By the time that audition came out, I remember the script. We had an agent. The script came out where they said that they wanted Turbo and Ozone. And Turbo and Ozone, they didn't really define whether they were brother or where he was like my surrogate dad or whatever. They just said they were just two guys in the neighborhood that just used their talent just to kind of like be accepted and get by. When that script came out, it was an Israeli production, Canon Films. It wasn't a black production. It wasn't a Puerto Rican production. They said, you know what, we're gonna do a movie, but we just kind of see how it goes. And sure enough, they put the word out, and a lot of people, I think over a few hundred people auditioned for those roles. When we went in, I remember they were pairing people. Okay, let me put this person with that. They were trying to find Turbo and Ozone. we didn't have that problem because when me and Shabba came in, they went, that's Turbo and Ozone. I naturally have a hyper personality when I'm happy. It just happens. I came in there as Boogaloo Shrimp to some Israeli people, and they're going, Shrimp? What is it? Look at my name, Boogaloo Shrimp. Sounds like something from Louisiana that's like extra crispy, but Boogaloo Shrimp. Then a Puerto Rican named Shabba. To people from Israel, they were like Shabba and Shrimp. But those were our stage names. But Turbo and Ozone kind of reminded them of our personalities. Shabba came in with, I'm Adolfo Quinones, and I'm a sex symbol. So he was kind of in the Ozone there. He's so up there, he's just Ozone status. Turbo was hyper, like, the marriage kind of went there in the chemistry, and the fact that I kind of still had comedic timing just took the movie 0 to 60, because they said, damn, you know what? We couldn't even write a better script. Let's just put them in situations. So the thing is, the movie was pretty much improv. I mean, if the pages were changing each day, because once they had us, they could not write a better movie. They said, just let this be like a biopic. Let these guys do their thing. The movie just happened organically. Nice. Breaking 2 was a little more, they tried to get the Hollywood aspect, because they didn't think that breakdancing would last, so they just rushed the movie, and they bought these theater people, singlers. We need something big. We need pastels. This is the ghetto. We need some brights, and we need papers, some bathrooms over here. People. So the thing is, now Turbo and Ozone, we were subjected to the Hollywood machine. That's why people say Breakin was better than Breakin 2, because you could see it. Yeah. Big old elaborate Broadway shows, stage shows in Royal Heights. But at the end of the day, the best thing about Breakin 2, they added color to the ghetto. We came back to the neighborhood not trying to be Prada, Dada, or bring a Gucci Mane kind of attitude. We came back to the barrio to make stage productions for a charitable cause, to help the people and we keep it in the hood. So if people kind of look beyond the script and quit dumping on it, it actually kind of like gave hope to some kids who are like, yeah, you know what? I may not be over here in Beverly Hills or whatever, but I'll make my Vado my Beverly Hills. I'll shine my car the best I can and car wash. Breaking 2 resembled just people working together. Even though we're different races, you could be Chicano, Asian, it don't matter. We dance and we provide for our family.
How did the broom dance scene come about?
What happened was, that was actually an accident, man. Once I got the job, I was messing around on stage, on the set, and the director and the producers happened to be seeing me. It was through a break. I was balancing the broom on my finger, and I was floating in place. They were looking at me, and I'm like, do I have the right deodorant? What's up? Excuse me. They got a prop guy, and they drilled with a drill bit, they drilled a hole in the center of the broom. Then they got some fishing string and put on my finger, and they said, okay, play with this. This is now not just a hip-hop movie. This movie, and hip-hop wasn't even the title back then. That's why they didn't call it, if you look at it was street dance. They always said street, they didn't call it hip-hop or dubstep. It was a dance movie, but they realized, okay, now when he did that broom scene, it took it from the streets to the stage. And the guy that staged it, he was from the original West Side Story. That guy, Hyman Rogers, he said, wow, this is turning into
a ghetto West Side Story.
A ghetto West Side Story. Yeah. And I was doing my best version of Fred Astaire. Yeah. Fred Astaire danced in Royal Wedding and did that dance with the coat rack. Now I'm doing my little shtick right there on Melrose and Heliotrope in Hollywood. And somehow or another, with the right editing and the right music, it turned out to be a very respected hip-hop theatrical piece. Now, this is what I'm tripping out. I just did my job back then, but I had no idea that I was actually being known as one of the first to do a hip-hop theatrical piece. That's kind of heavy.
Is Radiotron a real place?
Yes, it was. Radiotron was on 7th and Alvarado near Echo Park. Once hip-hop came, the brainchild of Radiotron was like, okay, you know what? I don't care what barrio you're from. You know, you come from South Bay, you come from San Fernando, you come from San Diego, wherever. There's going to be a place where you could come in. There won't be any alcohol, people set tripping or whatever. I and we could network and meet people, and you could flex your muscle as a DJ. It wasn't a place that people could safely go without getting jumped or jacked, right? Be like, hey, dog, you gotta get out of here because I just got busted on. You know, the thing is, it was a different time. So at that time in the 80s, that was a special place because we didn't have any trouble like that. If you danced and came in peace, we could have made all these really cool people. Matter of fact, what was really cool, I heard Madonna, when Madonna was starting her career, she came from wherever she was to the Radiotron and was there for a while to kind of get the feel of what the music was when she was dating Jelly Bean Benitez. So Ice-T, Egyptian Lover, a lot of the really serious hip-hop West Coast people, when they came to Radiotron, they pretty much had a place to flex their muscle and network. By the time the movie happened, like once again, Canon Films did a research of what our subculture was. Where do these people dance? Where do they kind of like, where would Turbo and Ozone battle? That's what we would have battled at the Radiotron. People battled there, and a lot of stuff went under the radar because that was when On and Select TV was out, or you can get the cable channels with the rabbit ears. So that was like back in the day. So the thing is, a lot of people had those Super 8 cameras. A lot of stuff went under the radar. So for them to actually document Radiotron and put it on the screen, it really kind of gave us more West Coast credibility.
Were there any issues with gangs while you guys were filming this? Like filming on gang turns?
And you know what? You know what? Because we have respect. They filmed it in East LA, and they realized that was the same streets where they filmed Boulevard Nights. Boulevard Nights was a deep gang movie that showed what was happening in East LA. And the thing is, it's just the way that it was, period. There was no watering it down. That's East LA. And it was, you gotta respect it. So when they came back to Breakin 2, they said, okay, you know what, Turbo and Ozone would be in East LA, but they would be there with respect. And we were doing stuff with the community. It wasn't about us, we were working with the community. Right now it's Casa Camino. The Miracles building is an actual building still here in Boyle Heights, you know. And the thing is, that kind of was symbolic of the disco crowd in Whittier and everything that was happening. Everybody was partying through here. So when it came to the gangs or anybody that was like, you know, that may have had an issue, the producer said, you know what, we're gonna use a car club from this area. And the thing is, I'm not sure which car club they used. I think it was the Imperials. It could have been the Imperials, but they used the car club out of respect. Since they were filming in a neighborhood, they said, you know, we're gonna put the people. They use extras from the neighborhood and they use the car club. So I thought that was very, very noble because, you know, you can't come in somebody's neighborhood and not give something to the people. Yeah. So Breakin 2 was not only filmed in the calles or the streets of Boyle Heights and Whittier and those areas, but the thing is, they actually had real people. Those extras, a lot of people were from all these areas, you know, El Sereno, Lincoln Heights, El Monte. Everybody that heard about that movie came from all the surrounding neighborhoods, you know. So it wasn't really a gang thing, it was a respectful thing for the community. Nice.
And that part felt so authentic, I do remember.
Because it was.
Yeah, I remember.
The only thing that was different when we were in pastels.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
That was all the fine singles. Yeah, right.